Now, from Arkansas's News and Information Center, this is THV 11 This Morning.
And good morning, I'm Craig O'Neill alongside Elise Edie on this Halloween weekend as we officially begin our celebration here on this Friday, October 30th.
Yeah,
Elise.
you and zombies having a good time.
And they're still here. They've loved THV 11 so much, they've taken over the break room.
I love it.
It's real interesting to see what monsters eat while they're on break.
Yeah, especially this early. We'll check in with them again coming up in just a little bit. But if you're wondering where Tom is, he's live with Allie Washington for another edition of Home Field Advantage. And we'll check in with them later in the show as well. A lot of fun out there at Joe T. Robinson.
Well, Sarah Fortner is here manning the studio. And Sarah, a lot of trick-or-treaters keeping a close eye on what you've got to offer us here in the way of a forecast.
Yeah, I can tell you this. More trick than treat coming on Saturday. We've got a very tricky system coming out of the west, bringing rain and storms. The hard part of the forecast is, when is it going to get out of here? Will trick-or-treaters be drenched? Well, I'll tell you this, walking out the door this morning, 40s out there. You will need a jacket. It is noticeably cooler. I'm watching this system out here in the west that's going to be bringing us rain tomorrow. Today, you're going to be fine. 48, partly cloudy, northeast wind, 6 miles per hour. That's providing that little bit of chill out there. 48. Well, look at that. Our first wind chill. 48 feeling 45. Here's your hour by hour for today. 51 by 9 a.m., 63 going into your lunch hour. Patio plans, perhaps. Upper 60s expected tonight for those Friday night football games in cloudy conditions. Now, rain's not getting here until later tonight. I will have your washout index for Saturday. Anything you got planned, I'll get you through your forecast. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, right now, state crime lab officials working to identify the 4 people who died in a plane crash yesterday.
Authorities in Russellville say they hope to get a positive ID today. That small plane went down yesterday morning off of Van Horn Road, and it was carrying the pilot and 3 siblings headed to their uncle's funeral in Tennessee.
The Pope County Sheriff says the community is coming together to show support.
It's just tragic. And you know, my prayers, along with everybody, is just with the families. And they're going to be with the families. We're going to stand there. We're going to be in support of them.
Meanwhile, the FAA and NTSB have now taken over the plane crash investigation. Several people witnessed the crash firsthand while on their way to work.
And Chris Womack works at a local radio station there in Russellville, and he says several calls came pouring in about the accident.
One of them was just happened to be driving through, and he seen a fire, and the fire truck, you know, putting out it was like a field fire.
Authorities say the victims were well known in the community, but they need a positive identification before releasing their names. Again, the sheriff's office hopes to have that confirmed today.
A 3-year-old Calhoun County girl is dead after state police say she was found in a washing machine, unresponsive. Troopers are trying to figure out what happened. The child was discovered by Hampton police Wednesday afternoon. Officers say the toddler was taken to a hospital in El Dorado, where she later died. No word on charges. Batesville school officials say there will be a moment of silence at tonight's football game honoring the 2 players who died in a car crash earlier this week. 15-year-olds Camden Osborne and William Olson died Monday after the car they were in hit a tree. The 4 others in the car still in the hospital. Olson's funeral is happening this morning in Batesville. Osborne was buried yesterday. The state's highest court throws out a lawsuit brought by former Little Rock School Board members. Yesterday, justices ruled they cannot sue the state for the district takeover. The Arkansas Department of Education took over the state's largest district in January after 6 schools were labeled academically distressed. Since then, the board members have tried to get back control. The Searcy Police Department needs your help finding a missing man. 56-year-old Carl Cobb has not been seen since Wednesday morning. According to family members, he didn't show up to a relative's house or to work. Officers say Cobb is around 5'8", weighs around 140 pounds, and may be traveling in a white 2000 Lexus SUV.
Nationally, federal investigators working to figure out how a plane bound for Venezuela caught fire at a Florida airport before takeoff. This happened yesterday in Fort Lauderdale. More than 100 passengers were forced to evacuate using inflatable slides as crews rushed in to put those flames out. Close to 24 people were treated for their injuries. New surveillance video has emerged showing the massive biker brawl in Central Texas that left 9 people dead. The video aired first on CNN yesterday and shows that May shooting outside of a Twin Peaks restaurant involving rival gangs. Waco police say that they didn't release it, but 177 people were arrested in connection to the incident. So far, though, no charges have been filed. The military expected to spend most of the day finishing gathering pieces of an unmanned surveillance blimp. It broke loose Wednesday in Maryland and landed in Pennsylvania. And there was still helium in its nose when it came down. Yesterday, state troopers shot the blimp to release the gas. Meanwhile, sensitive components have been removed. Early this morning on Capitol Hill, the Senate voted 64-35 to approve a 2-year budget and debt deal. The agreement raises the government debt ceiling until March of 2016 and removes the threat of a national default. The House passed that deal on Wednesday.
Presidential hopeful Dr. Ben Carson making a stop in Arkansas today.
The retired neurosurgeon is headlining a rally in West Memphis. It's happening in West Memphis High School tonight at 6 o'clock.
And this will be his second visit to the natural state. In August, he made a campaign stop in Little Rock.
And TV judge Greg Mathis is the keynote speaker at a leadership conference in North Little Rock. The Stand Foundation hosting a summit today focused on training people and organizations on how to be leaders in the community.
Governor Hutchinson will also be there. This is taking place at the Riverfront Hotel starting this morning at 8:30 in North Little Rock. And
tomorrow, the Old Navy outlet at the Outlets of Little Rock will officially open its doors. And since it'll be Halloween, officials have planned giveaways and activities throughout the day.
So the festivities hosted by the Outlets for Kids under 12. That's happening from 2 until 4.
And the Halloween celebration starting early as the Senators are getting ready to take on the Apaches tonight.
Tom Brandon, Allie Washington, live. Joe T. Robinson this morning. Hey, guys.
Good morning, Elise. I am Coach Todd Escola and the members of the high school football team. Coming up the game tonight, we do play the Knoxville Apaches. Coach, good morning and congratulations on what's been a pretty good year so far.
Appreciate it. We worked hard, facing some adversity this week, but kids have bounced back. We're ready for tonight.
Now, you have a fantastic team, of course, a couple of standouts. It does take a full team to make this happen.
Absolutely. You know, every member is vital. Every player's got to play their part, do their job, and when they do that, we're pretty good.
I understand that after this morning, every Friday, you go to the elementary schools, and they take a big role in helping the kids get into class. Is that right?
We don't want to develop football players. We want to develop young men. That involves character. That involves providing for leadership opportunities. We want them to be good in academics, and just part of that is going to elementary schools, greeting those youngsters and giving them a smile for their day, and just greeting them in school.
You take a few of the football players, and they go to each school. You've got Robinson across the street, Lawson, Chenal, and Baker. I bet those kids love that.
It's awesome. Last week at Lawson, some of our players were greeted with goodie bags from the elementary kids, and it's really developed some really strong relationships.
Well, I appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck tonight, buddy.
Absolutely.
Senior night here.
It is. Senior night, 7 o'clock kickoff.
All right. Joe T. Robinson playing the Pottsville Apaches tonight. Gentlemen, good luck to you tonight. Thank you for coming out, all right? We're going to go back inside to Elise and Craig.
Where do we start? If you're looking for a good scare this Halloween, we have found the perfect activity for you.
I thought you were left. I said goodbye to y'all. They're still here. Monsters taking over THV 11. Getting up close and personal. Maybe too close and personal. Right, you're lucky they're not where you are.
I am lucky, and I am very nervous because you never know what's going to go viral on THV 11 this morning. Stay right here. I've got your forecast next. We are talking about that trick-or-treat forecast and even falling back on Sunday. Stay here.